Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and we have Rescuers Down Under today. This is a bit of a classic film. It doesn't really get its due, I don't think, compared to the other ones that are all princess focused and such. But this is a really, I was surprised. I have to admit, I haven't seen it before. I guess really never got into the Rescuers. It came out in 1990, rated G. So it's basically an hour and 17 minutes long. It's not a very long movie at all, but the animation on this is pretty great. It's the old school, hand drawn cell animation. Uh, Although I noticed in the credits there is a reference to Pixar. I mean, this is 1990, so if it's a reference to Pixar, it means it's a very early incarnation of Pixar. But maybe it's not even the same thing. I'm not even sure. There's really 5 names or something like that associated with Pixar at that point in the credits. So you can check it out yourself if you didn't already watch it, or go back and check it out. But beyond the animation, it's it's the voices, and again, I'm always into the different voices and names that some of you who are younger who probably don't even recognize, but. There are the number of the main characters. I imagine came over from the first film or the other films. I would think so because there's the 2 main mouse characters. Part of the Rescue Rangers is Bernard and Miss Bianca. Bernard is why can't I say this? Bob Newhart. Bernard is Bob Newhart, and Eva Gabor plays Miss Bianca in her very heavy accent. And Wilbur, the albatross for Albatross Air, is none other than John Candy, who just honestly, you almost, I don't know the whole process and how they animate this, but I can't imagine him crafting his performance to the animation as much as the animation had to be crafted to handle him. I don't know, but he is the big comedic relief in this film, and he's pretty astounding. It was great to hear his voice in a whole new character that I had not seen before. John Candy, the classic, the iconic comedic actor who died many years ago, way too soon. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, among others. But yeah, Stripes, a bunch of others. But yeah, if you get a chance to watch this, it's of course takes because it's down under. It's in Australia, and Australia. They the 2 main characters after again they're based in New York, but there must be apparently there's a humongous international mouse communications underground communication system that when a little boy gets kidnapped, barely just one little boy gets kidnapped, uh, mice can contact each other around the world, going to the Marshall Islands, then the Hawaiian Islands, and then through all the different United States to New York City, where Bernard is having dinner with Miss Bianca, and they're about to get the mission at about the same time that Bernard is about to propose to Miss Bianca. And of course, that doesn't go as smoothly as he'd hope. But yeah, they get called off on the mission, and they meet an Australian, uh, I guess, kangaroo rat named Jake, and he has his eyes on Miss Bianca too, which causes a little bit of tension amongst all the drama and the action. But again, it's very lighthearted. It's very fun. Again, it's beautiful to look at. It's beautiful. It's honestly. The backgrounds and just how everything is animated, they didn't scrimp on this. This wasn't hey, let's just cash in on the name and just crap out a sequel with low budget animation. They did a great job on this thing, and it's pretty amazing to watch. So if you get a chance to see this, seriously, take the time. Rescue Rangers Down Under. It's fun. Even the music, the orchestral score behind it, it fits perfectly. It's a great adventure score. It's fun to see all the animals working together and to save this boy who himself he just sort of sneaks out of the house and goes rescuing animals on himself. Maybe that's what makes him so special. And they all decide, hey, well, let's all send for the mice on the other side of the world to rescue this single boy. And one of the other voices I have to say, George C. Scott. plays Mikalish, the just perfectly made villain for this movie. He's vile. He's just perfectly performed. There's yes, it's animated, but this is not a musical, by the way. So if you were hoping to hear George C. Scott or John Candy or Bob Newhart sing, that was not gonna happen. So yeah, it's George C. Scott is great in his bad guy role. His sidekick, which is of course an animal. I guess it's like a Gila monster or a lizard type creature. I'm not exactly sure, but it's named Joanna. So it's a female lizard sidekick. But it's actually voiced by Frank Welker. And if you don't know Frank Welker, yeah, most people don't, unless you know voiceover actors. And Frank Welker is on pretty much every cartoon you've ever watched. It's like they need to call in somebody to either do a voice or animal noises or something that's not exactly human. It's they bring in Frank Welker, and he always knocks it out of the park. So yeah, this is like I said, this is an A-list cast and some A-list animation for 1990. Right around the time when Disney started revitalizing their animation, and it was mostly princess focused, Ariel, The Little Mermaid, and things like that. Eventually Beauty and the Beast and things beyond that, but this one very much animal centric, except for maybe one or two humans, and it's worth your time. I really enjoyed this one. So let's pick tomorrow's number now. Let's see. Yesterday's was 6:59, or today's 6:59. 246 is the next one for tomorrow. 246. Let's see what we got here. Come on. Scroll. 246. 246. We got another movie that I don't know what this is, but it's Horse Sense. Horse Sense. Don't know. I'll have to check it out. And honestly, it's one of those things that if I've never heard of, and maybe Disney forgot they had. If it's not on the list, I'm going to check it out right after this. I'll be back in a second. But otherwise, you should be watching Horse Sense on Disney+, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. Bye-bye.